My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we are looking at why is your person withdrawn at this time. So maybe you guys are still talking, you're still in communication, and you find that kind of reticent, or they're not as communicative as before. They may not be reaching out. Maybe you're in no contact. Okay, so why are they withdrawn? So let's get into this reading. Okay, one second, guys. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go into the healing cards by Chuck Spezzano. We'll start as we usually start with some significators, and we go from there. Because once we have the overriding energy, then it's pretty easy for us to interpret and receive the messages that need to come through and the messages that we need to hear for our highest good. Now, when you're listening to a reading about your person, remember, everything around us is always mirroring back to us ourselves. Okay, so you're going to keep that in mind. And as we're going through this, you're also going to reflect and ask, what is this teaching me? How is this reflecting how I navigate life, what I might be thinking at this time? This is especially important if you're like me, where I tend to, my default setting, just about to say it, is to be in denial or disconnected from my emotions. I was just about to say that, and I looked down, denial. It's a habit that I have. So I always have to do reflexive exercises to daily, sometimes multiple times a day, to really connect with what I'm feeling. Because sometimes I have a vague idea of what I'm feeling and I just put it aside. I don't deal with it. But I force myself to connect with my emotional body all the time, because default setting is to disconnect. All right. So looks like your person might be the same, right? We have here denial, right? What the eyes don't see, the heart can't grieve. That's exactly what's going on here. So they feel like if they disconnect from you, they're gonna feel you're absent less, or they're going to be less impacted by what is going on. So why are they withdrawn? Because things are intense. And they can't handle intensity. Some people disconnect emotionally, and some people disconnect physically in order to disconnect emotionally. Right? All right, so let's have a look. Their energy generally. Oh, Lord. Scattered. The energy generally is communion. All right. They're working on themselves. What are they working on? Well, they're working on getting themselves into balance. Yes, you hate hearing that, because a lot of readers say, what does it mean to get yourself back into balance? Well, it's just like what I was just telling you. I'm very mental, so I always have to challenge myself to connect. It's even in my words, I'm talking about disconnection. To connect to my emotional body in order to bring myself into balance, right? Or else I'll just get stuck in my head. And your person may be the same way. Your person is trying to come into balance with themselves. Your person has no problem connecting this way. You see right here by the hip? They ain't got no problem with that. That is easy breezy. Cover girl, right? They have no problem connecting at the hip. But you see connecting at the heart? Hello? No, they don't do that. That's a hard pass. That's a usual hard pass. So now that your connection is challenging them to be more intimate with you, more intimate with self, I feel like this is what is causing this pullback. But they can't stop this. They can't stop. This is spirit working with this person. So they feel by disconnecting from you, they will think about you less. But disconnecting from you is actually giving them more space to connect with themselves. And if they connect with themselves, then they connect with their truest sense of themselves. And the truest sense of themselves is in love with you. If that is the case, if that resonates for you. Let's see their energy towards you. So just when they think they're running from, they're running towards. All right. Ooh, introjection. All right. So introjection is when we run on autopilot. Okay. We run on autopilot and we're running on the programming that we received as children. And in default, just see, as I mentioned, default mode, right? They are in default mode right now, and their default mode is to just go back to everything that they learned from their tribe, from their ancestry, whatever dysfunctional patterns it is. They have returned to factory settings. Okay, so a lot of the healing that they might have been doing, when it comes to you, it feels like the reptilian brain has taken over. When they're by themselves, it's fine. They have that peace, have that space, they can really connect. But when they start thinking about you and how intense this is, and when they're in communion with you, all the triggers start coming, and that's when they feel unregulated and wobbly. And I know a lot of divine feminines, like on my one-on-one sessions with them, or if we're emailing back and forth, talk about, life is so great when life is so great in terms of the dynamism of things when they're not in your energy field. But when they're in the energy field and they come back, that's when you feel triggered and dysregulated and that kind of thing. And I feel like your person is the same. When they're in connection with you, everything about you challenges them, challenges everything that they have learned, challenges all their default settings, and you just cause their little motherboard to short circuit. So that's why they're trying to kind of stay away. I feel like they don't have the resources to deal with what's happening when you guys are in connection with each other. Now, your person also has the I ruin their lives conspiracy going on. Now, in the I ruin their lives conspiracy, the person looks back on how they may have treated someone, how they may have done things, the decisions that they made, and they're like, oh my God, I really fucked up. So this is the I really fucked up conspiracy. And it's in love. It's in love. Okay? It's in love with card number 26, reduced to 6, right? The lovers. So it's in love. And the thing is, they don't think that they just ruined your life, even though there's their energy towards you. There's another person here. They also think that they ruined that other person's life as well. So if your person is in a karmic relationship, they're thinking, I ruined their lives, but they also think that they ruined yours as well. So it feels like the energy of guilt and shame, and that came out in our last reading. Look at the last reading and what's happening in this connection. So we have guilt and shame going on, and that guilt and shame triggering them to factory settings, which is trying to disconnect, right? Trying to disconnect, okay? Because if they disconnect, then they don't feel that guilt and shame so harshly. But once they start connecting with their emotional body, everything hits them all at once. The love hits them all at once. The shame hits them all at once. The guilt hits them all at once. The I don't know what the fuck to do hits them all at once. And I feel like it's not just for you. I feel as well for everybody else in their life. They are seeing how they really made a fucking mess. They made a mess. They made a mess, guys. And they just don't know how to clean it up. So while they were drawn, this is what's happening. This is what is happening. This is emotional overwhelm. And them trying to get a little bit of space and a little bit of reprieve from what they are feeling. And that's why they won Denial Bridge a moment ago. Right? So that's why they're drawn. I mean, we could end the reading here, but we're going to dive deeper because deeper dives also help us. All right. So that's the energy. Let's look at the headspace. What are they thinking about you at this time? Although we got some insight. What are thinking? Five of Pentacles. Feeling alone, feeling abandoned, right? For some of them, it might be some depression going on. And some of them, even in this energy of feeling alone, they may also be trying to disconnect even further. So they're already alone, but they might be trying to disconnect even further by diving deep into their addictions. I see she has a wine glass here, so it could be substances. Somebody doing some binge eating here, somebody doing some hoarding. At the back, other people might be traveling, the physical distance to disconnect. So they might, or they might even be running towards another love connection, or trying to be a love collector at this time, hitting up old contacts in their little black book so they'll get a little charge, a little escape at this time. So maybe for some of them, digging deep into their addictions because they don't want to think about you and they don't want to think about how they feel. But what are they thinking about you at this time? Get socks. Let's see, Ace of Wands. They got the hearts for you, and they know that they have to take action or they will lose you. The Chariot, trying to figure out what action to take to move this connection forward. Okay, and to also not feel as horrible as they feel right now, because that's all part of the demobilization, right? That's all part of the immobilization. They feel horrid. They feel guilt and shame. I know when it gets to that immobilization, that toxic shame, it can really be disempowering. Like you don't want to do anything. You just sit there. You sit there in that energy. We have the Page of Swords, reaching out, sending a text. I feel. And we have this death and transformation energy. All right. So what are you thinking about? How do I turn things around? How do I resurrect this? Dig it up from the grave, because they think this connection is dead and buried. And they think that your emotions for them is dead and buried as well, because they may have withdrawn, but for some of you guys, you may have disconnected as well, right? So they think this is dead and buried. So they're trying to figure out, how do I birth? Because look, somebody is birthing something here. How do I birth something new? They feel like they need to make contact, right? We have the Page of Swords. And I feel Page of Swords today means making contact. They feel like they need to make contact, but what the hell do they say? What do they do? How do they move this forward? So for others of them, they may just settle for watching you, spying on you. I don't want to say the word stalking, because then we get into creepy town, right? Spying on you, checking. Let's use the word checking up on you. Checking up on you on social media, inquiring casually about you from friends, colleagues, co-workers. For some of them, they might be spying energetically, but if they thought they would get a moment's peace, if they thought they would be able to block you out, which is what this person's trying to do here, they have not been successful, because third eye is open though. You could close your eyes all you want, but third eye is open, and it looks like energetically they might be reaching out. Now, let's look at what they're feeling. Their heart space for you. What they're feeling. We have insecure, right? Insecurities abound. So all the insecurities about you, this connection, how good they are for you, it's all coming to the surface, and it's going inside that place of paranoia. So they may have disconnected to block you out, but not much success. Not much success where that is concerned. Let's look at their heart space. How they're feeling. We have trustworthy, right? So this person trusts you, they do. And they look back on everything now and they're seeing that everything they thought you were doing to them, they realize you were doing for them. They also realize that you are a person of integrity, that they can trust and they can open up their heart to. Okay? I think this person was always on the defense, especially when you guys kind of just met. Because, again, that's their factory setting, right? They're on the defense. But now they're realizing you've always had, for the most part, right? For the most part, their best intentions at heart, right? And they want to extend this kindness back to you. And they feel your kindness. They feel it. They feel it in everything that you say. They feel it in every gesture. They feel it in every gift that you have given them. They feel it. This is something that they can feel, right? They don't just see it. It's something that they can feel emanating off of you. And they, in turn, are responding in kind. We have strong. Okay, so they see you as someone who has overcome so many obstacles in their life, who has displayed a lot of strength and courage, and you have this person's admiration. You also inspire them to step into their courage as well. So this is just beautiful energy in the heart space. And when they think about you, they feel serene, a sense of peace. You've always been able to bring this to them, this sense of calm, like everything is going to be okay. Right. This is exactly how they feel. They feel like with you, everything is going to be okay. No matter how crazy life is at that time, everything is going to be all right. Okay. All right. Let's get some messages from their higher self. What does their higher self want you to know at this time? Let's use this reconciliation deck. What does their higher self want you to know at this time? After this, I'm going to get some advice from Spirit, and then we're going to go into the extended. In the extended, we're going to look at what's happening in their life right now. We're going to look at their long-term intentions towards you. We're going to look at how are they seeing you guys interacting a year from now. We're going to get some messages from their 3D self. And we're going to look at their actions towards you within a month of you watching this reading. Okay? So let's get some messages from their higher self. What does their higher self want you to know right now? We have within 1 month. What we're going to ask, we were going to ask what was going to happen within 1 month. But it looks like something interesting is going to happen. What's going to happen here? You guys are finally going to figure out how to solve the puzzle and be on the same page. And Spirit is asking for your patience. Not waiting, but certainly for your patience. Patience. With patience, you're not putting your life on hold. You're carrying on. You're keeping calm and carrying on. All right, so let's see. Messages from their higher self. What does their higher self want you to know? We have yes. So it could be that you tick all their boxes. They want you to know that there was never any inadequacy in you that they saw. You have always been perfect to them. Perfectly imperfect, right? So you tick all their boxes. They want you to know that. It may have led you to believe otherwise, but that was their own insecurities talking. We have an ex involved. Okay, so just as we picked up on before with the I ruined their lives conspiracy, there's somebody else here in the picture at this time. Your person might be intrinsically linked with somebody else. They could be in a partnership, a marriage, even a business partnership that might be kind of toxic would also fit the bill. We can pull some cards on that for you, but they're letting you know that there are other people to be considered. Here, we have mommy issues coming through. And when we have mommy issues, we have problems receiving love. And it feels like that was your person's main problem when you guys were together. Okay. And then we have giving and receiving. So they're trying to bring this issue into balance. And when we have problems receiving love, we can't even take compliments. We can't even take compliments with grace. We don't believe people when they say that they love us, that they care for us. Okay, we always think that there's some kind of hidden agenda behind their eyes. And it looks like that was the energy that they were in at the time. Let's see this ex being involved. Spirit, tell us about that. We have 9 of Wands in reverse. And that talks about no longer fighting for it. And we have 9 of Cups. Yeah, your person's putting themselves first, right? And if it means saying goodbye to something else in order to do that, they're going to do that. They ain't fighting for that anymore. Let's get a card on the mommy issues. We have Hanged Man. In reverse, they've gotten all the enlightenment that they need to move on from that particular issue. It looks like before, this mommy issue caused a lot of conflict in their life, but now they're taking control of their life and they're no longer giving their power away to either the memory of a narcissistic mother or the reality of a narcissistic mother or the reality of a narcissistic mother embodied in a partner. They're no longer giving their power away to that. All right, so let's get some advice and then we're going to go into the extended. What's Spirit's advice for us today? Alrighty, we have purification by fire, and every time I see purification by fire, it talks about the end of a karmic cycle. It says bare essentials, the naked truth, and they have wholeness, but I think it's return to wholeness. What's the advice here? We have reflection, illusion, self-examination, distortion, right? And just as I was saying, right, everything is reflecting back to us parts of ourselves, whether that part may be in light or whether the part may be in shadow. Each has a purpose. They're all teaching us different things. Card number 13, and aiding in our transformation. All right, let's see. Reflection. What you see around you mirrors what you feel within you. The chaos you perceive or experience in your physical reality simply reflects your inner chaos and turmoil. If things are not working well in your outer world, what is it that is not working well within you? And I think that is a question your person is also asking, but this is a question that Spirit wants you to dive deep into. What is it that's not working in your life? And what does that say about your own self-concept and the narrative you have about yourself and what you deserve? Right. This card calls for a thorough well, exactly what I'm saying. This card calls for a thorough self-examination. Do not merely skim the surface. You must delve deep to uncover the truth. This will take time, patience, and commitment. Observe your thoughts and feelings throughout the day. See, I started with that. And make a note of negative or unconstructive thoughts and feelings. This practice over time will in itself heal and restore balance into your life. But I don't just take note of my feelings. I go deeper. Exactly why am I feeling that way? And then I ask myself, is there anything I can do in this moment to address that or alleviate that, right? And then I take that action. And sometimes the thing that I can do at that moment is just to breathe deep. Breathe deep. The other thing I can do at that moment, maybe I can write a paragraph or something. Okay. Or there could be another call to action. Or sometimes it's just about taking a deep breath, right? Sorry. This practice over time will in itself help heal and restore balance to your life. It may be helpful to keep a diary in which you note your thoughts and feelings. What is it that triggers these thoughts and feelings? Journal writing will also help provided that the journal is for your eyes only. It may also be helpful to seek professional advice from a qualified counselor, or health practitioner who has experience in this field. Commit to this reflective journey. Be disciplined in your approach, and you will never look back. The rewards will be greater than you ever imagined. And the affirmation here is, my heart is full of love and light. All is well in my world. I feel the peace within me, and this creates peace around me. I observe all I think and feel. Each negative thought and feeling is automatically transformed into love. But what I liked about it is that they gave you an exercise. I believe in addressing all issues on parallel tracks in the 5D and the 3D. If we weren't meant to interact with the 3D, we wouldn't be here, right? So I don't believe in spiritual bypass where we're just going to meditate it away. No, we have to do the 3D exercises and the 3D practices that flow from whatever is happening in the 5D or whatever you're downloaded in the 5D. So there's no sense having knowledge or intuitive hits or enlightenment and you don't ground it. We're meant to ground it, and not just for ourselves, but also for the collective, for our family, for our lineage. So it didn't make no sense holding it inside. And you're not going to force it on other people either. But certainly we might be required to share. Okay? All right, my love. So if you're able, join me in the extended. We will continue this reading. If not, have a wonderful, amazing day. An amazing day. All right? Just do something to nourish yourself, whether it's eat good food, be around great friends, your family. If you can go to the beach, well, some people can't go to the beach. Whatever it is, you can breathe fresh air. Whatever it is, do something to nurture yourself. Okay? All right. If you're able, please subscribe to the channel. Put a comment down below. It could be a full stop. The algorithm doesn't care. And take care.